Call this meeting to order. It is 11 o'clock. It is Wednesday, the 28th of August, 2024. We're here to discuss the vacation of right-of-way for last name of Busch with planning and zoning. At this time, I would entertain a motion to go into public hearing.
I'll move to go into public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Skimming through the rules for public hearings, since we've been through this with this audience already. Signature sheet if you wanted to speak. Please don't speak until you've been recognized. All public hearings are recorded. Please don't interrupt the speaker. If you have any evidence, we need 4 copies. If you have any written evidence to submit, please be respectful of the speaker. And once the hearing is closed, no further evidence or testimony will be presented or considered. Okay. So at this point, I turn it over to planning and zoning and for the staff report.
Dan Martinson for the record administrator. In the matter of this application for Eric and Jacqueline Busch is a petition to abandon and vacate a portion of Potlatch Road right-of-way within Shoshone County. This is case number VAC 1003-23. On or about July 23rd, a complete application was submitted of 23. A complete application was submitted to County Building and Planning. A public hearing was scheduled, and notice of public hearing was sent out via the Shoshone News Press and published on July 26th of 24, August 9th of 24, and August 20th of 24. On July 24th, a notification to adjacent property owners within 300 feet of the project site was completed via USPS mail. And on July 26th, a legal notice was posted upon the site. A public meeting was scheduled before the County Board of Commissioners on August 28th, right now. Findings of fact in this case are the applicant are Eric and Jacqueline Busch of Moscow, Idaho, P.O. Box 8188, Moscow, Idaho. Property is owned by Eric and Jacqueline Busch, the same address. Proposal is petition. The applicant is petitioning to the county to abandon and vacate approximately 0.26 acre portion of Potlatch Road public right-of-way as described within Exhibit A, A2, and depicted in Exhibit B, A3 of your packet. The subject right-of-way was acquired as fee simple property by Shoshone County via final decree of quiet title CV-2017-94. Instrument number 500807, recorded September 12th of 2019, which includes a portion of Potlatch Road right-of-way adjacent to the applicant's property, located at Lot 4, Block 2 of Herrick Park in Calder, Idaho, also known as Parcel O1850002-004-0. The legal description is the same, located east of Calder, at Lot 4, Block 2 of Herrick Park, known as parcel number 040. The zoning in this area is natural resource. The existing land uses are residential, recreational, and some area timber, lots of area timber. Comprehensive plan in this area designates this area as a South Shoshone district. The district allows for these types of uses and applications. The district is rural in nature and may not have the same pressures for development as other areas in the county, so things like this are easier to do. The portion of public right-of-way the applicant is requesting to be abandoned and vacated is not improved for public or private use. The portion of the subject right-of-way is not necessary or required to provide access to property which is not owned by the applicant. No property is left without access to the public right-of-way or abandonment. It is in the public interest to abandon and vacate the excess right-of-way and place the property into private ownership, which may be taxed as long as the order reserves easements for existing public or private utilities. This area is not within an area of city impact, so no incorporated city was solicited for comment. Public Works Department does maintain this section of the road, so they were solicited for comment. And on September 14th of 23, Stephanie Featherstone with the Department of Public Works indicated that Shoshone County needs to keep 15 feet of right-of-way from edge of asphalt or slope of the road. A little bit confusing, but that was worked out with the surveyor, and they was able to mark that on the exhibit. In this case, the road sits up higher than the property, and they wanted to maintain 15 feet from the base of that toe, as we've done on other vacations. So that was depicted in here
Okay.
on the right-of-way edge. So it's actually out on the flat part of his property. Avista, in an email dated September 20th, 23, Luann Weingart with Avista indicated they have no concerns, noting that they have a significant easement on the south portion of the road, but the requested vacation does not encroach. Ziply Fiber was provided an opportunity to review information on this vacation of right-of-way. As of the writing of this report, Ziply has not responded. However, if there are any appurtenances there or utilities there, the Idaho Code preserves those, and that'll be discussed in the conditions. So they're covered even if they didn't respond. As of the writing of this report, the Planning Department has received no public inquiries or comments. Section 3 lists the various county codes as well as the Idaho codes that govern vacations, right-of-way, and abandonment. And I'll make another note on this one. In particular, 3-05 is Idaho Code 40-203 for 0-203. Later, there's a typo. We'll mention that. Section 4 is a recommendation by the administrator. The recommendation of the administrator is based upon the submitted application materials, agency comments, and public testimony. Pending testimony of the applicant as well as the additional public testimony. It is recommended that the administrator to approve the application with the recommended conditions of approval based upon enough evidence that general standards as stated within the above applicable standards have been adequately addressed. Those conditions, draft conditions of approval, are the pretty straightforward ones. The first one is the one that discusses that all other rules and regulations by state and local, state, and federal will be maintained, as well as particularly noted Public Works Department and Avista. Terms and conditions shall run upon the approval of this shall run with the land and be valid upon change of ownership. Board of County Commissioners shall cause any order or resolution to be recorded in the county records and the official map of the highway system to be amended as affected by this abandonment or vacation. All existing easements of record shall be reserved and maintained for the continued use of existing sewer, gas, water, electric, or other similar utilities, pipelines, or appurtenances. The applicant shall file and record a lot consolidation deed incorporating the abandoned vacation right-of-way into the adjacent lot so that only one lot exists. And I would add on here, we want to add in the condition that all fees are paid for that application and publication prior to recordation of that order. We produced in section 6 is the draft conclusions of law. Those are based on the county code and Idaho code. Those are all recommended, drafted in the affirmative. If you want to change any of those, we need to put that on record. And then we produced the recommended motion pending going forward with a typo note in there. It says Idaho code 42-203. We want to change that to 40-203 for this application. Correct that on future staff reports. And then we remember to add in the additional condition of fees paid. Other than that, I have no anything else. The applicant is not present, but the surveyor and his representative is present if there's any questions of me or the applicant representative.
So I like my go ahead. Sure. My question is, how much right away are we keeping as a county? I saw her 15 feet, but
15 feet from the toe of the
toe of
slope.
the road. But how much is the county retaining in its entirety? Do we know?
I can jump in and make a comment. Looked like on the record of survey that the shortest point on the easternmost portion of the vacation denoted 28 feet
28 feet.
from the center of the right-of-way, but the surveyor is obviously in the room, so he may be able to explain if I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, exactly. That's the closest parallel line to the center line of Potlatch Road is 28 feet from the center line, and then as it approaches to the west and gets to that corner of lot 4, it's still the 100 feet. If you can see, I can do mine if I
Okay, because I was wondering why the.
Yeah, so here's the center line. And then, so that's a 28
That's the
foot
28
offset.
feet.
So this whole line is parallel
That's
to
the
the center line here. So
Okay.
it's 28 feet at this point as well.
Okay.
And then we veer and get to 100 here. This
Okay.
is just following that toe that,
Okay.
an offset of the toe that Public Works wanted to keep an offset.
Okay. So, thank you.
Any other questions from the commission at this time?
No.
Anything further, Commissioner?
No.
Okay. Then we will, and are you done with your initial presentation?
Yes.
Okay, so we will go to testimony by supporters, none, neutrals, yes. Matt Beener.
Just clarification, at the 28 feet, what the overall right of way?
It's still the 100 on the other side.
So it's a,
We're looking here.
I just need to clarify. So you're 28 feet from
28.
center here, and
If we're still going here, we're still 100 here. It's 128 feet left over. This is only doing one side.
oh, you're over the 50 from center line, except for on this side.
Yes, so I guess this would be 72 feet of vacated right away. And then tapering down to
Okay.
nothing.
All right. Make it quick, same objections and same comments for the last 2 meetings.
Duly noted. All right, thank you, Mr. Beener. Any further rebuttal by the applicant or the staff?
A little bit of clarification, just as if people are watching. Potlatch Road in this case is not in the center of the right of way. And so the center line of the road is significantly to the north side of that 200-foot swath of right of way. And so
Okay.
that's why there's only 28 feet between the center line and the proposed new boundary. Is the road itself is on the northern part of that. So like he said, there's 128 feet of right of way being maintained by the county. We're giving up the difference between the 128 and 200,
Okay. Anything further?
which is 72 feet.
Mr. Prosecutor, any comment?
I think I know the answer to this, but just so the record's clear, the survey that was done here is, I don't want to call it unique, but for lack of a better term, I'll say unique in that we've got multiple jogs within the new proposed boundary instead of nice, even straight lines. The obvious assumption is that the surveyor was attempting to pull the minimum 15 feet from the edge of the road per Public Works' request. And that's the reason why we don't have a nice clean line for our new survey. And instead we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different jogs on the southwest edge of that new proposed boundary. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Anything further to add?
Nothing else from legal.
Okay. And anything, final comment from, okay, and final opportunity for questions in the hearing here before we close the hearing?
I don't have any.
No, I haven't.
All right, then at this time I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing and commence deliberation.
So moved.
Second.
Moved, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we'll take no more further evidence. This is our opportunity to deliberate. Do we have any comments or questions or thoughts by the commission?
No.
I don't have any.
Okay, are you ready to make a motion?
Yes.
Okay, you ready for a motion? Okay, do you want to make a motion?
I'll motion to approve the application, case number VAC 1003-23, based on the findings and
of fact and conclusions of law set forth in these documents, and any additional testimony received, the Shoshone County Board of Commissioners order that in excess of public right-of-way lying outside of the Potlatch Road corridor described in Exhibit A, A2, attached hereto, and incorporated herein, hereby abandoned and vacated with easements retained pursuant to Idaho Code 40-2033. The excess public right-of-way lying outside of the Potlatch Road corridor described in Exhibit A, A2, and depicted in Exhibit B, A3, is to revert to the adjacent property owner and case number BAC 1003-23. Petition by Eric and Jacqueline Busch for abandonment and vacation of public street or right-of-way be approved. The commission also notes that fees and costs are outstanding and will be paid before an order is issued.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Second. Any last discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously. Okay. And with that, I believe that we are adjourned.